Welcome everybody, my name is RC, going back to Halo Reach again for this video. Can you tell what level it is? Yeah, of course you can. It's level number 5, Long Night of Solace, and I'm doing it on Legendary All Skulls on. Final time for this one is 32 minutes and 9 seconds, which sounds like a really long time, but it is actually the world record for this level and difficulty. Nobody's beaten it, and this haven't even been posted to High Speed Halo because I got all perfectionist and stuff, and I didn't want to show it because I knew I could beat it, but I never did. You know how it goes, probably. Don't have to fight the first fight on this beach. All these guys on my right behind me can obviously just run down the beach because you've got, you know, a little bit of a wide space and you can go through it. There are some death barriers in the water, but if you run fast enough and you stick close enough to the shore, they're not going to be an issue for you. There's a wraith being brought down on one of the drop ships to the left. Some people like to go hijack that. Sometimes they like to go kill one of the earlier grunts, get a plasma pistol so they can hop on the top and, you know, bash the hatch off or whatever. I'm just ignoring it because I can get through it a little bit faster by going solely on foot. What I want to happen here is for these guys not to see me, and so I could have come in behind them, meleeed to death both of the jackals and then the elite as well. That would have been really quick. That's one of the things you would have to do if you wanted to beat this. Well, one of the things you could do. Shave off some time. So now, I wanted to do this a few seconds ago, now I've got the opportunity. Yes! There we go. Whoops. Oh, hello. I have to take you out. Oh, could have got the headshot. There we go. That wasn't too bad either. So just running in now. It can be fairly protected out there. Actually, dropships keep coming in, and you can have like this firefight thing going on. Picked up the rocket there. I actually once got like 1,000 kills there, I think. I just went there for like hours and hours, just killing enemies. I don't like killing marines, but I've already picked up a rocket launcher and he won't just like give me his extra ammo. I mean, I need at least 2 rocket launchers. I'm trying to assassinate him. For some reason, I always have trouble assassinating him. Well, you know, a large majority of the time. Some people have absolutely no issue and they just like walk over him like he's nothing. But he's actually turned around and smacked me in the face with his massive hoof so many times. And it's really annoying when there's actually already some randomness going on at the beach. Picking up the sword there as well. Sword and rocket launcher. If this was Halo 2, this would be prime time for sword flying. I can't do it in Halo 4. Halo Reach, sorry. Now, cutscenes. That's another big problem with this mission. Fortunately, watching this in the video, so I'm just going to skip past it. There we go. We're now in space. It's very beautiful. It's a great looking cutscene, but there's a total of 5 minutes of unskippable cutscenes, or near enough 5 minutes. And if you're trying to have to watch that every single time that you're trying to do a speedrun of this, not even a speedrun actually, if you're just trying to complete it on Mythic, Legendary All Skulls on, no deaths, you learn to hate them with every fiber of your being. There was one guy who said he actually got nauseous every time he saw any part of that cutscene because he'd just seen it so many times and it's just so deeply ingrained and associated with failure. It's really sad. But pro tip for any game developers, never ever have unskippable cutscenes, ever. It's so annoying. So, space section, Saber. Space Spectral is not something you've had in Halo before. I actually quite enjoyed this. Especially once you figure out if you press the right bumper, you go into like a pro mode, you can actually go upside down and stuff like that. And it handles more like a real plane, even though you're in space. So 4 waves here. First one's all Banshees. I like to line up on the side. This is the side I prefer. And you just want to see them, you shoot the head of their streaks coming in. And if you're good, you can get them all out on the top wave here. But I think a couple have just escaped there. So that was pretty good. You can get a Killionaire in there if you want, but where are the other 2 gone? There's one. For some reason, you never got a motion tracker in your Saber, whereas in space, I think that would be one of the most useful places to have a motion tracker. Maybe they thought you'd get confused as you were sort of flipping upside down and stuff, but I think that's weak. Second wave is 4 Seraphs. Yeah, this actually design goes back to Halo 2. I don't know if there are any in the cutscenes, but at the end of the level, the Arbiter, and you fight against the Heretic Leader. No, sorry, it's the level after that called Oracle. The Heretic Leader is actually standing on top of one of these Seraph fighters. So it's just kind of interesting how, like, 6 years later, the exact same design is still there. Got to get down their shields first. You're told by the gameplay to use your guns first, and then your missiles. That's the easiest way to do it. You can also just shoot them with the main cannon as well. If you hit all the shots, I think that's actually slightly faster, but it's quite tricky to do. And here's where you start to lose times on run like this. Having to switch targets because some of the shooting them in the back, and your buddies in the other sabers like can't keep them off your back. Oh, finally got his shields off. Die, 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 die. There we go. What is that? 1. So in the saber you have your little like roll to the right, roll to the left. Don't use roll to the right and left much while fighting these guys. It's mostly going to be the flip backwards and flip forwards. They have some sort of proper name, but I can't remember what it is right now.
Man, I just had my ship washed and the Seraph is wrecking it.
It's like an auto special turn.
Great shooting.
Yay! Finally. I kind of enjoy the way that this vehicle flies, but I don't enjoy the fighting because it's just like pounding into the enemies. And it takes a little bit too long. The shields are a little bit too strong, I think. Okay. Third wave, mixed Banshees and Seraphs. So I like to come in behind them this time. Try and take out all the Banshees I can see. Basically getting wave 4 to activate is getting a large majority of these enemies dead. And obviously it's the Banshees, the easy ones to kill, those are the ones you want to go for. But I like to follow them in behind and then go rush in behind Anchor 9 as quick as I can. Oh my god. Fortunately, one of the saving graces of this mission is that your saber isn't affected by the black eye skull, so that means not only does your health recharge fully, you do have health in the saber, but also your shields recharge fully as well. I think it would be actually impossible if they didn't. Thank you, Bungie, for not making black eye affected. This is one of the things that kills me as well. When I was trying to beat this time, and I never did. If it was just the beach section and the bit in the Corvette, blast through it by now. Would have got some really sweet tricks that I was practicing, never managed to incorporate into a proper run. Maybe one day I'll do a segmented run, and you'll see how amazing it could have been. Not today though. So some people are really aggressive with this fight, and they're just like, oh, like totally easy, I'm just like out here in the middle of space flipping around and it's totally fine. I can't do that. I just get ripped to shreds. I can never do it. Like, I'm good at the space fight, but there are just some people that are better than me and they can just deal with it. I don't know why. Teach me, masters. I want to beat this record. I think I lose a lot of time here, basically. Just trying to peek out, trying to find one that's not. Oh, is that a Banshee? Try and hit it, hit it, hit it. Ah. Yes, finally. And sometimes the AI in the other sabers and the guns that are on Anchor 9 they can actually take out quite a few for you sometimes. It's a bit like Emil at the end of Oni Sword Base. Sometimes they're really effective, sometimes they're basically useless. And it's not really consistent. Well, obviously I just said it's not consistent, but yeah. Recharge my shields, recharge my shields. I feel like if the area was more segmented and it was more like big pieces of geometry and the Seraphs actually went around them more, this would be better. As it is, the big pieces of geometry are only sort of around the area that the Seraphs come into, and the area that you fight into is just a big area of open space. And that's probably for like the newer players that aren't very comfortable with flying, to not crash into a bunch of geometry in the middle of the map. But when it gets really hard, then it gets frustrating because there's no cover unless it's way off on one side of the map. Fourth wave coming in. We've got like 5 phantoms.
I'm taking direct hits from the Phantom.
3 or 4 volleys should do it.
Weapons free.
Or is that 5? Oh, I'm miscounting. So this is one of the few times I use my rolling to the side. It just sort of helps get people off me, trying to avoid fire from all the Seraphs that are still flying around here. Once these phantoms come in, you can just concentrate on them. It's very rare that I actually die. It's so rare that I don't even think about it. I just go for the phantoms, do my rolling, shoot my missiles, and then it's done. Try and pick up a few more points while they're running away. Oh, no. Not happening. And then you can't actually dunk with Anti-9 straight away. You actually have to wait a little bit. There's another sort of talky bit.
Anchor 9er to UNSC ships. All targets neutralized. Bravo 029er, you are clear to dock. Activating marker.
Yay!
Bravo 029er. Noble 5, you ready to go?
Yes, I'm totally go. Whoops, I've actually flown around too long here. So I've just wasted another little bit of time there. Whoops. There we go. And since it's a video, I'm gonna skip this one as well. Forget that.
We have visual. Target confirmed.
I actually find this part of the saber section more interesting because now there is actually a piece of geometry in the middle of the map, which is of course the Corvette, and you can fight around it, and you can not get shot by all of them simultaneously. There's a series of guns emplacements, and they don't do too much damage to you, and they're pretty slow, so they're not most of the time much of a problem. But I like to just take them out anyway, because once I get close to the ship, I don't want to have to take extra fire from these guys. Obviously, there's a bunch of Banshees that are stored underneath the ship. Probably everybody knows that by now. I think there's even an achievement for it or something like that. Or there was a challenge or something. Like, there was a really popular video about it. Probably everybody knows this. So always go for them because they're all bunched together. You can get a big multi-kill. You can get Killionaire there if you want. And then I like to concentrate on the rest of the Seraphs. You do develop a sort of feel for how much fire you can take. It's not like you start getting shot and you have to break off instantly. Sometimes when they're chasing you, they'll fire a few shots and you know you're pretty much safe. You can of course go for the 4 guns that are on the back of the Corvette straight away. I don't like to do that because I like to have the enemies isolated. I don't like to have huge amounts of enemies all at once. Especially when you can't take them on all at once. You don't have any like really big explosives, like a space equivalent to a rocket launcher or anything. I've only got the space equivalent of DMR, so just take them out one by one. Because once you kill the engines, there's another wave of Seraphs that come in. So if you're aggressive, that's the way you could save a little bit of time, perhaps. Because rather than having a little flying out here, turning around, So I can take them all out on one pass. You could actually take them out as you were coming into the area, and then you'd have all the Seraphs, and it'd be a little more hectic for a little bit of time, and then you'd probably be quicker. Oh, finally. And then I'm going to do a little flip to get in behind this, where the Seraph's coming. They always come above the Corvette. And then just pick one off and go for it, because they're all going the same direction. So they won't shoot you for a little bit until they do a little circle and come back to you like now.
I thought the target was jammed. Must be squadrons coming back from patrol I go to. Don't let any of them get away, Sabers. Kill them before they bug out.
Getting there, we're getting there.
What we're up to.
Soon going to use my sword and rocket combo. Oh yeah, there was a challenge to actually destroy those drop pods that are coming from the bottom of the Corvette, aren't they? They actually launch infinitely, like little groups of 3, 2 at a time. And there are some big guns on the side of the Corvette as well that you cannot destroy. And eventually they end up destroying this frigate that's with you. You are dead. Die, 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 die. Finally. There we go. Whew. Have a little moment. Everything's okay. How can we get inside, Dot? Structural weakness. Oh dear. Fortunately you can skip this cutscene. Finally. Whew, got my sword, it's all glowy. So there are 2 Ranger Elites that come out regularly. This one's pretty reliable. The other one coming out here can sometimes get stuck down there, and that's really frustrating. Yeah. Did it right this time. Got my rocket launchers. One shot. Take those guys out really quickly. Another alternative is to also use the sword on them, but it gets a little bit riskier. The rocket launcher is much quicker, of course. And then there's just 2 more on Legendary. These ones are dual wielders. Dual wielding plasma rifles. And I'm using a plasma rifle because I was thinking maybe I can kill him before he gets up here, make it a little bit speedier. But they always seem to go down to the bottom floor there to try and take out the Marines that drop down with you. And then they like to hop up here with the jetpacks, and while they're in their air, they're totally immobilized. That was one of the earlier videos I shared on my channel. I screwed up the initial entrance, and I think I ended up taking out like all of them like that. Ooh, plasma pistol with 100% charge. There's actually 2 of them in that center area there. Like gold dust on Legendary also goes on. Just going to use this box as a little bit of cover. That was meant for the Ranger Elite behind him. I expected him to be much closer to me than that. It's okay though, I can even fall back to plasma rifles if I run out of plasma pistol, which is probably not going to happen. Wow.
Noble 5, meet him there.
So just going to have a peek in, dodge left, and there's an engineer here, 2 bursts, going to take that out. Legendary it's only 1. And while I'm here, there's a grunt with a fuel rod gun, which can be a pain in the ass if he gets, just killed him, it can be a pain in the ass if he gets to the entrance of the hallway I'm going to also back into. This is the safe way of doing it, and this is still basically like the recommended way, like even if you're not trying to speedrun it or anything. If you're trying to go faster, you can actually be where I was when I took out the engineer, up the ramp to the left. That's possible, it's really aggressive and it's really quick, but you do have to be right on it. You have to be popping those grunts really quickly. You have to be overcharging those Rangers as soon as they're coming up. And they're coming up with you from 2 angles as well, because they'll jump up straight onto the balcony, because they've got jetpacks obviously. But this hallway is the best way to do it if you're not confident. Bring a little box, you can nudge it down like this. Little rolling barricade, and it's really easy because you've got a cowbell on, and it's also the low gravity, so it's really easy to move. There's another one. Just pepper him open. Headshot. Move it a little bit over. And the grunts will also mostly make your way to the entrance of this hallway, just there. And if you'll know, if the doorway is staying open, you'll know there's a grunt stationed to either side, or at least one of the sides, obviously. And so what you can do is you can use the needle rifle, shoot the ground, and sometimes they'll dodge across in front of the doorway, and then you'll be able to get the super combine on them. Pretty much clear now. So there's just 2 ranger elites, I think. These guys both have focus rifles, and if you come up here, and if you're just the right position, they'll just be shooting this barrier in front of you, and you'll be able to get your range shot on those, like range peppers. Trying out like a bunch of different ways to do this faster. Trying to use a sword and go around the other side, it was still really tricky. This ended up being the method I preferred, and it's still the method I prefer. So gravity come back on, it's all repressurized as well. Can actually hear things now, music comes in, woo! Pick up another 100% plasma pistol for the next section, and then run back. You probably could get away with just using what you pick up on the way. There's still going to be quite a few grunts. Do a little hop up here, just saves going around up on the ramp. Skip through this cutscene as well. Oh god.
Get that Corvette moving toward the supercarrier. Head for the bridge. Find the nav controls.
And gonna go around to the right door here. Surprise these 2 elites. Love that. Made this area so much simpler than it was. Having to take out the grunts first and then trying to figure out something and peppering them, and they were retreating to the next hallway, and sometimes it would they'll go far enough to activate the doorway. It's really bad. So that way it was super aggressive. Loved it. Now there's one elite here. You want to get behind him. You have to go really far around, and sometimes he'll spot you. And then, but if you can do it, if you can like get in behind him, then this makes this whole area really simple. Marines, they're not actually helpful. Again, I wish I could just tell them to stay with George. So when I come back to this area, it can be a real pain in the ass to get through the enemies. I mean, you can just about make it with a little bit of a hop and a run, with some distraction grenades, but I just like to have that one crate there. That's going to slow them down quite a lot, make it a lot easier for me. Also going to use this other crate, bring it along into the hallway with me as quick as I can. I mean, if you could do it without this, that'd be great, but like you got to be really on the ball with taking out some of the elites. What was I looking for? Plasma pistol? There it is. So I'm moving this crate in here, so basically when I've cleared the bridge and another group of enemies comes in, an elite comes in, he kill all his grunt minions, then he'll try and retreat and that box stops him. Oh, now full assassinators on the bridge. 1, 2. Where's number 3? Boom. And the general. Oh yeah. So there can be up to 2 grunts that are right next to that Spec Ops elites that were standing at the like floating globe. And if there's 2, it's really difficult. It's possible, but it's extremely difficult. If there's 1, it's still possible, and then I got lucky, there was no grunts standing behind him, and so I could just go straight for him and then go straight for all the rest of the elites. And then super combine the grunts that were left, of course. On co-op, you get like 2 general elites, so you're actually going to have to combine your coordinate and take them out at the same time. One's just static and one that is roaming. Sword is great for moving boxes for some reason. uber melee power, apparently. So I just move another box really quickly, and that's going to make sure that that elite cannot escape. Which you'll see in just a second. You'll see him. Now pick up plasma pistol, hit the button, and then this is making sure the Corvette will go to the supercarrier. And since we've rigged up the mass driver in the hull, it'll like... Not the mass driver, sorry, that's a completely different universe. Like the slip space drive, that's gonna bring like half the ship into slip space and basically like rip it in half. So just a bunch of jackals and grunts. Needle rifle makes pretty short work of them. And you see the elite there, he's in the hallway. He would retreat into the previous room, but since the boxes are in the way, he can't. And sometimes they can jump over stuff, but since it's in a hallway, it's too low for him to do that. Are there any grunts? No, it's fine. Let me just get some ammo, because I'm being paranoid because it's close to the end of the mission. Never really figured out a great way to take him out other than that. That's fairly reliable, fairly easy. Oh yeah, so there's some enemies coming in through that door. Throwing some grenades, trying to make the box sort of roll into them. But they didn't even get out of there, so I'm totally safe. Whew, now finally into the final room. Well, the hangar, again. This is like the third fight we've had in here. Oh, if you actually notice, up on the balcony, the far side there, there's actually a Bob. His golden ranger armor. Oh my god, I missed. Whoops. You can still see him in the background there. And I'm like, what? I don't want to deal with him. Go away, Bob. Stop shooting me. But he does disappear fairly quickly. And I think that's just what happened now. Second wave, you're going to have to know where they're coming in, otherwise this is going to be a really protective fight. 3 jackals? 4 jackals. Should have used my needle rifle more. I was thinking legendary, throw grenades, and that takes them out really quickly. Doesn't work as well on legendary Oscars on. A couple of needle rifle jackals up there. Come up and I can see grunts coming out of this hallway there. Yeah. Now ideally what's happened with this one, and this is something to bear in mind if you want to beat this, is that he'd be distracted by George and you can get in behind him, land the assassination, take him out fairly quickly. In this run I ended up just plasma pistoling to death, which doesn't take a huge amount of time. It's pretty effective in Halo Reach. Obviously not as fast as the assassination. Come out! What are you doing? Oh, that was a bit close. Blip, 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 blip. Ooh. So pick up some plasma grenades. Try and use them on these grunts that are coming out of this door. No, that's not a plasma grenade. That's a terrible throw, and that just missed everyone, I think. Not a huge problem, it's just going to slow me down. I've still got the needle rifle, and there should be plenty of ammo for it in this room. And there's even like some sniper rifles in the crate that I never end up using. Not even a legendary. Shields! Oh, they just got shot off immediately. I do like using this little nook on the railing for this ramp. I use it quite a lot on the elites in the next section of this wave as well. Them going up there is not ideal. You really want to take them out before they go up there, on the ramp, in the hallway where they spawn. Gonna get that box out of the way so I can actually like plasma pepper this guy. And it's like 2 nooks, the one in the ramp that is immediately in front of me, and then there's like another dip in the ramp that they're on there. Sometimes they can get stuck in the exact perfect position. They can see you, so they're trying to shoot you, but you're just too low. They're trying to shoot at your body, they can only see your head, and so their fire is just going into the railing in front of you. That's what happened with the first one. The other one, not being as cooperative. And then this is where you're trying to coordinate like the sounds in your head. Where is it? Where is it? Maybe I'll have to go in and be more gung-ho about it. Where is he? I don't hear him. Oh god. Oh, he's falling down. Bad for him. I mean, if I had shields, if I knew I had full shields, I could go into a melee battle with him. But I wasn't sure, and I'm so close to the end. A lot of the time they don't stay at the top of that ramp long enough for you to get the plasma pistol there, and they are pretty tricky. Oh, now this is actually using the turret on the Pelican. And what I did when I got in, and I aimed down and I used the splash damage from the gun to destroy the actual model of the gun, so that I could actually clear the way and see what I'm doing. To get into it, what you do is you go to next to the nose of the Pelican and look carefully, and you actually see a little black triangle decal on the side of the Pelican. You want to crouch down and move towards that, and then you'll sort of clip into the Pelican a little bit, and then you'll press X and you'll actually just get into it. This actually works on any Pelican that doesn't have an AI gunner already. Most of them in the game don't. The one on New Alexandria that you can get with the Easter egg, turning your Falcon into a Pelican, you can actually get into the nose of that one, just like this one. It makes this section so much easier. You've got infinite ammo, they're pretty powerful shots. And you're invincible actually, you don't take any damage, you're just completely safe inside the nose of Pelican. This can get really drawn out. Fortunately, that didn't happen. Sometimes it can take like 10 minutes because they keep ducking behind cover and the shoot kills keep recharging. Obviously, if you're going to try and beat this, a faster way would be to be up the ramps where the previous two elites came out. Basically in there, the 4 elites on Legendary, they come out in the 4 corners of the doors on the top levels. Look, that was actually fairly quick this time. But you would kill the one that you spawned right next to him, and then the others, you would draw them up the ramps to him and engage them all in melee battles. That's really difficult, but if you pull it off, it looks epic and it's fast. So, it's all over now, finally. I think that's the first time it's actually been a video of this on the web. 32 minutes and 9 seconds, that is the world record. And obviously you can see loads of places you can improve that. But if you want to try, have a go. It will be quite a lot of work, and you may end up hating all the designs that ever were involved in this mission if you do. Hope you enjoyed it, thanks for watching, and I will be seeing you very soon.